From Studio 1A in Rockefeller Plaza, it's Today with Hoda
and Jenna. It all starts
right now.
So get
It's Monday, the 19th day of August. Wow, summer is zooming.
Why is it zooming
I don't
so
know.
fast?
Slow it down.
You know, we have such a good show today. It's all about great conversation.
It's one of our favorite shows because think about, even over the last week, how many meaningful conversations have you had? Like conversations that went beyond regular stuff, logistics,
Yes.
gabbing about current events, real conversations.
I mean, I wonder how many people have. Like, I would say not enough.
Not enough. Right. But you know when you talk to someone and you're so incredibly inspired, you're like, oh my gosh, I need more of these
Yes.
kinds of conversations.
Yes.
This show is going to provide those for you. And also things I think you can take with you when you go and see your friends, your sister,
Yes.
your husband,
Yes.
whatever.
Yeah, we have some incredible life gurus, some of our gurus. We have Arthur C. Brooks.
Come on,
Greed,
remember?
And Esther Perel.
Remember Arthur Brooks?
We love him.
He teaches that Harvard course on happiness.
But what's so interesting with Arthur is, isn't it cool to think about somebody that would say, okay, how can we be our most joyful self? Like that would be, and to go to Harvard and say, I want to teach this, and then for it to be one of the most popular
I mean, to
classes.
think about all those kids who are lining up to enroll in a happiness course. When you think about when you get to Harvard,
Yeah.
all that it took to get there, what you're seeking in the end
Yes.
is just that, like what
Yes.
everybody wants.
Yes.
Same thing. All
Okay.
right.
Well, one place that for a good conversation is a first date.
Oh, yeah, and those can be awkward.
Yes, they can.
You have to know how to get the conversation vibing.
I actually think if you
What?
have a great conversation on your first
Yes.
date,
Yes.
then that's it. Like
That's
then
everything.
You're like leaning in.
Yes, if you're with someone who can hold a great conversation, and I don't mean like someone. Sometimes if you're like
Job
have you-
interviewing.
Yes, no. What was your last movie you saw? It's like, ugh.
No.
I want like real
Yes,
conversation.
not a job interview.
No.
Don't job interview it. But here's some ideas. Okay, Cosmopolitan UK asked different questions.
Okay, so here are some of their favorite first date questions.
Okay.
Here's the first one. What's something new you want to learn? I don't think that's a good one. Because that's too much pressure.
Yeah.
Don't you think most people are just barely making it?
No, I know, and
What's
also
something
it's like
new?
put
You
me
want
on the
guitar?
spot. Well, you do want to.
I know, but I'm just saying that's a hard one.
No, I
If you're
also think, because people can barely make it to work and back. What? Okay, here's another one. I'm afraid isn't great.
I'm not looking.
If you could have a superpower,
Oh,
what would it
God.
be?
No, these are not
Talia
good.
likes it. I don't think that's good.
What would it be? What, to be invisible?
Seriously, time travel. I'd love to go back. Time travel. I'd love to go back to 2 minutes ago before we started this chat. Right?
Let's see the third
Or
one. This
we
is
could
fun.
go back. Okay, here's another one.
What are you looking for at the moment?
No,
Okay,
y'all. No,
guys,
no.
guys,
Day one.
Guys.
No. If I asked Henry Hager what he was looking for at the moment, first of all, it would totally freak him out. I mean, I'm going back to 20 years ago.
You know what? Okay, let's reframe what a first date. A first date question should be to find out if there's commonality, right?
Yes.
Is that what you want to know?
Yes.
I don't want to know your superpower.
I think it's interesting to lean into what shaped you.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I remember the conversation that Henry and I had. We met 20 years ago in September. And we went on a date to a restaurant called Teatro Golandini. I'm sure it's still not there, but there were masks on the wall.
Yeah.
And he picked me up, and I was so nervous.
Yeah.
And he was so nervous. His ears were red. I remember that. And I remember what we talked about, which was like his dad, who's now passed, and how much he influenced him, and like decisions he'd made. I mean, he was young, but so far to like not go get a job right after and help his dad out.
Big.
And like that. But I remember that conversation, and I'm afraid if you talked about superpowers, that's forgettable.
And I do think when you do ask someone about what their history, and I don't mean their dating history because that gets all messy, but just their life history.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that does tell you, and it tells you who they are.
Who shaped them.
Right. If
why
they're close with their family.
Yeah.
Things that if it matters to you.
Yes.
Yeah, we're totally. Oh, here's
God,
the last
here's
question.
another one.
Is there anything you don't eat?
Wait, I don't get it.
Buddy.
How does that?
Buddy.
Did a man write these?
Probably.
No offense. But
wait,
honestly,
is there anything you don't eat? Does that means are you an adventurous eater? No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter. Like, that's such a small thing.
No, because some of the most adventurous people I know eat like a child.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
My dad eats he's like, I'll have a peanut butter and jelly. I'm like, okay, but like he's done cool things.
Yes. Maria Shriver eats chicken fingers. Yes.
Like it's not.
Yes.
Y'all.
It's true.
And do you want just like
I don't want somebody who's like,
I only eat at Michelin star restaurants.
Right. I get what they're saying, like an adventurous eater. Like, would you try this kind of food or that kind of food? I think that's interesting, but that's definitely.
See, I'd be more into then lean into the adventure. Let's talk about what you really want to talk about.
Yeah.
We don't need metaphors for everything. Do you know what I mean? Like, if you want to find out if they're adventurous, say like, are you adventurous?
Are you? Oh my God.
Do you remember any great first dates?
I think first dates can be lots of fun just because it's like, I love it's like the beginning.
Yeah.
You know, it's like not everything is out there yet.
Yes.
And I think it's just fun to get to know somebody. But I think it's also important, like when you are dating, and we talked about this, but figure out what you want and how much room you have.
Yeah, totally.
And that's important. And don't treat every date like, is this going to be my person? No, you're just enjoying yourself.
Yes.
You're just delighting in a date.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be about what is this going to mean down. No, it's like I don't have to worry about anything because you know what? We're just having a coffee. I don't have to worry about, is it going to get intimate? Should I? What if he's like, I don't know.
Totally.
No, because that's not happening.
You know what we're as a society we've leaned out on, I think, is fun.
Yeah.
Like you're just having fun.
Have fun.
And in it, as opposed to thinking about what's coming later.
Yes. And if you take all the pressure off yourself, this isn't is he right? No. This is just delightful.
Yeah, a dinner.
A delightful dinner. That's it. That's all it is.
And if it's not delightful,
then bye.
You probably asked some of those questions.
Okay.
All right.
Coming up next, he's a happiness expert who wrote a best-selling book with Oprah.
We're talking about Arthur C. Brooks. He shares his advice for managing negative emotions and creating a more joyful life right after this.
Okay, so today's all about meaningful conversations, and we're starting off with one of our very favorites. We're talking about Arthur C. Brooks.
Arthur is an expert on happiness. He's also a Harvard professor, a columnist for The Atlantic, and a best-selling author. His newest book, which he co-authored with Oprah, is called Build the Life You Want, The Art and Science of Getting Happier.
Check out our conversation.
Hi, Arthur.
Hi, nice to see you.
By the way, this is such a thrill. This is the first time I'm meeting you.
Yeah.
I've been reading your books, and I'm just inspired. And I love what you say about happiness and how a lot of people say, if I'm happy, I'll feel good. Just get me to happy.
Yeah, right.
But that's not it at all.
It's a terrible goal because we can't get to happy. It's not a destination, it's a direction.
Yeah.
We can all get happier if we actually understand a little bit of the science and change our habits. But if we say, look, I got to be happy, then we're setting ourselves up for failure and frustration. We won't be able to manage ourselves appropriately. That's a really important thing for us to remember. Oprah calls it not happiness, happierness.
Happiness.
That's the goal. She's so great with words, right? So we write a book together, and I'm doing all the science, and she says, we need a word.
And that's happiness.
It's happiness.
And I love that you write about the fact that we don't have to be happy all the time. I mean, first of all, that's completely unrealistic.
Yeah, it's also dangerous. You know, we have negative and positive emotions, and the biggest mistake that we make is saying, I don't want bad feelings. Yes, you do. You need negative emotions. You'd be dead without negative emotions. They exist because they're information about the outside world. The point is, you need to learn from them, grow from them, and manage them. And that's a lot about what Oprah and I write about. That's the work, is learning to manage your emotions so they don't manage you. And when you do that, when you really crack the code, you're alive. You're having the good and the bad feelings, and it's all part of the life experience, and they're not running your life and making you miserable.
I like how you guys say emotions are just kind of a tap on the shoulder.
Yeah.
They're not the thing. It's like reminding you you're angry, but there's something that's going on that you need to address.
Exactly right. You're not your emotions.
Yeah.
You're a person with emotions.
Yeah.
And that's an important thing to keep in mind. So we talk about this technique called metacognition. Big, fancy word.
Yeah, what
we
is
academics talk that way. It's basically thinking about thinking. It's understanding yourself. You got to have a PhD in you. right? I mean, it's Hoda studies is really what your PhD is in. And once you understand yourself, you can get a little bit of distance between yourself and your emotions.
Yeah.
And then you can actually manage your emotions. You do this through prayer, through meditation, through journaling. There's so many ways to do it. And once you get a little bit of space, your life can really change.
We talked about this. I got to hang with you earlier when this book was published. It's like, I also think this is so important to read and then help you redefine how you parent.
Right.
Because our kids need to know it's okay to be sad and scared.
Yeah.
And so what's advice when it comes to that?
Well, one of the biggest mistakes that parents make today, and you know, I have young adult children, and I'm a grandfather now, and so I've been thinking about this an awful lot, and I teach students who are on average 25 to 30 years old. I teach MBA students who are studying the science of happiness as one of their electives. And one of the things that I see is that parents are too freaked out about their kids being unhappy. And they're freaked out about it. A lot of helicopter parenting is because they're thinking about their kids' feelings all the time, and they're trying to wipe out the bad feelings, and that's a mistake. Your kid needs to be alive. Your kid needs to learn. Your kid needs to grow. You want your child to have a full life of happiness, not trying to get them into the zone of, you know, unreality, which is happiness itself. And when you do that, you protect them too much from the experiences, and then they wind up becoming adults and not knowing how to suffer.
Handle it. Yeah.
I like how you draw a distinction between pleasure. Pleasure is what you get when you bite into the chocolate chip cookie, or pleasure is what you get when you take the drink, or pleasure is what you get. It's like an instant thing that happens to you, and then there's another kind of satisfaction that comes with sort of a collective feeling.
Yeah, this is a really important thing. So happiness is defined as a combination of enjoyment and satisfaction and meaning. Those are the three things that we need. Now, I didn't say pleasure. Pleasure is related to enjoyment. A lot of people are seeking pleasure, but that's just a brain phenomenon. You know, back in the 60s, they used to say, if it feels good, do it. That's a great way to ruin your life. Because all you're doing is you're hitting the lever again and again and again. It's a little center of your brain. It's called the ventral striatum. It's your pleasure center inside your brain. And when you do things just for pleasure, you hit it again and again and again. You get addicted. That's a great way to wreck your life. What you need is to take the sources of pleasure and add two things: people and memory. And that takes the experience of the pleasure and it turns into a really human, full thing called enjoyment. So, and here's the way to think about it. If something gives you pleasure and it can be addictive, drinking, you know, drugs, scrolling,
shopping,
eating, you know, your junky food, gambling, whatever it happens to be, if you're doing it alone, you're doing it wrong. This is the key way to remember it, right?
Interesting.
If it's addictive and it gives you pleasure, don't do it alone. You got to add people and memory. Then it becomes a source of enjoyment, and that will give you greater happiness.
Do we not love him?
I think we need more. So how about this? Coming up, Arthur's going to share 4 things you can do that'll help you live a happier life. That's next.
More now of our conversation with the author and happiness expert, Arthur C. Brooks.
We dug in on one of the most important areas of our lives to focus on for true contentment. Take a look.
There are four areas that are scientifically proven to help be happier.
4 investments, kind of the happiness 401k plan.
Where should you invest your time?
Your faith, your family, your friendships, and serving other people with your work. These are the big 4. Like, people spend a lot of time on things that are kind of extraneous and little things and, you know, self-improvement things that are just kind of at the margins. The big 4 are your transcendent life, you know, your faith or your spirituality, your philosophy of life. Not necessarily my faith. I'm a Christian. It's really important to me. But what you need is something bigger than you that lets you zoom out on life. That's super important. You need to get small. Because when you're too big, you're going to be obsessed. It's like watching the most boring sitcom over and over and over again every single day by force. Family life. People define it in different ways, but we know that these are mystical relationships of love. We didn't choose them. God knows in lots of cases we wouldn't have chosen them, but they drive us crazy because they're so important. The third is friendships. Now, today, a lot of people have a lot of friends, but they're not real friends. They're deal friends.
Deal friends.
We know the difference between real and deal. Or virtual friends. No, doesn't count. In person, in real life, eye contact and touch. There's a lot of neuroscience about why that matters, but we all kind of get it. And last but not least, our work has to serve other people. We have to create value with our lives. And if we do those 4 every day, checklist, at the end of the day, examine kind of your day and say, did I do something for my faith? Did I do something for my family? Did I call my mom? Did I do something with her? Keeping in touch with my real friends, not just my deal friends? And do I believe I serve people today? And if it's check, 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 you're going to go to bed happier and get up happier.
I got to ask one more thing. Is there there's a science to falling in love?
Yeah.
There's a science. I want to hear what this is.
Yeah. So this is what my students who are 28 years old. This is what they really is like. And Professor Brooks, forget all the other stuff. Let's just talk about how to fall in love and stay in love, which is really important. So the brain goes through a series of very discrete steps when you're starting to fall in love. It has a lot of there's sex hormones, and then there's neurotransmitters that are starting to fire, and all kinds of complicated chemistry that's going on. But ultimately, the science of falling in love says this: there's a lot of passion at the very beginning, a lot of infatuation at the very beginning, but the goal of falling in love is friendship. That's really what it is. And so what I tell my students is the goal of your partnership, it shouldn't be being passionate forever. That's Disney movies, like happily ever after, and looking into each other's eyes and being deeply in love. Like I've been married 33 years, and
she's watching. Careful.
Hey, she's a fan. Hey. But the whole point is that your relationship should be tending toward best friendship. That's the science, because that uses there's actually a neuropeptide. It's a hormone that functions in the brain called oxytocin. That's the hormone of human bonding, and ultimately that's what links you to your intimates, to your children, to your closest friends, and to your spouse. And this kind of companionate love can be plenty passionate, still will be, but that's really the goal. The science of falling in love and staying in love is getting to deep friendship at the end of the day. That's why marriages are satisfying and they really last.
Thank you so much, Arthur.
Arthur,
nice
thank
to see you.
What a thrill.
Great
Come
to be
back.
with you.
We need more.
Why is it over?
To.
Wait, why is it over?
We need more.
Okay, now everyone wants to buy the book.
I'd like to read it right now. Do we have time?
Yes. To check it out, check out Arthur's book, Build the Life You Want. Go to today.com/books.
Coming up next, y'all, a savvy businesswoman who built the life she wanted, Emma Greed. Her smart advice for starting a business. Coming up. Emma Greed is a force behind powerhouse brands like Good American, Skims, and Safely. But she didn't build those businesses overnight.
Yeah, during our conversation, Emma talked about building brands from the ground up, the power of perseverance, and of course, how much fun it is to take the plunge into Shark Tank.
I think one of the biggest lessons that I learned when I started Good American, and let me tell you, I had two different sets of investors. I had the old guys and the young guys. The young guys said to me, spend, 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 chase that, top line growth. And the old guys said to me, you're going to need profit. When the tides turn, you just have to think about running a profitable business. Never spoken. And that is, lucky. I was like, I'm going to listen to these old guys because they just look richer.
Girl!
They just look richer.
I mean, it's true. But it's nice to know you went through a ton of trial and error before you hit it, because I think people look and think, wow, they see the end product. They don't see all of the lessons learned.
It's the understatement of the century. Yeah. And I think as an entrepreneur, that's just part of your journey. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows, and I've had a lot of lows, a lot of them. It's just a part of it.
Did you ever think on one of those lows, like, I'm not cut out for this? Because that sometimes does happen.
No, I think in a way you start to really, know yourself. And I have a pretty thick skin as a person anyway. So, I just think you take those things and you learn from them. And there's so many, if I look at my career and how many mistakes I've made, those are the things that really help me and fuel me every day, because part of being an entrepreneur is that you're going to have lows. You're going to have those moments.
So it's so funny because even in that clip, you talk about the old guys and the young guys. You're not talking about women. You are a woman. Do you ever have imposter syndrome? I mean, when you're sitting in a room and you're the only one that looks like you, are you ever like, wait, what is even happening here?
Honestly, never. No, because I know better than to have imposter syndrome. We're all just making it up.
We are in awe.
No, we're all making it up as we go along. And I learned very, very early on. My mother taught me, you are not better than anybody else, but nor is anyone better than you. And so in my mind, whichever table I've been seated at, I've always felt like I have something to bring to the table, and we all have our own unique gifts, and it's just about as an entrepreneur really doubling down on
what
that.
If you feel like you're not heard? Because a lot of women in business have been they feel like they're getting a pat on the head. No, sweetie, not like
or
that.
somebody takes credit for your ideas.
Still now, and that happens all the time, but it's how are you dealing with adversity, because it's not going to happen.
So how do you
do? Well, I think what I do is just I don't take anything personally. I'm like, that's about them. If you forgot to acknowledge me, that's not about me.
Are you our new guru? Where did this wisdom come from?
I will happily be.
By the way, that is about
And we have to talk about the 15%.
Yes.
Oh, thank you.
This is incredible. Will you just talk to us about what's happening, what you're doing?
You know, there's so much. The pledge is now in its 3rd year, and for those that don't know, it's an incredible non-profit organisation where I'm the chairwoman. The pledge, at the very, very basics of it, is really about, you know, allowing American small businesses to come to the forefront and to succeed. And when we talk about the barriers to access for black-owned businesses, we all know what they are. Access to capital. Yeah. So, you know, you can't shop a black-owned business unless it's there on the shelf or on the rack in front of you. And, you know,
there's so many good ideas.
There's so many good ideas, and black businesses are not just for black people. So what we really want to do is to make sure that talent is equally seen, and to make sure that those businesses are able to get on the shelves of the best retailers in this country. And it's been an amazing journey.
Why spend so much time helping? It sounds like a very obvious question, but you're a busy person trying to run these businesses, and yet there's a huge lane that you're dedicating to, hey, you need help, I got you. Hey, I'll help you out.
Yeah. Like, you know, I think at a certain level of success, it's an obligation.
Yes.
And I know how hard it was for me. Raising finances as, you know, a female entrepreneur and getting my start was really, really difficult. And I think about all of those obstacles and hurdles that I came up against and why I managed to break through. And so I think it's my responsibility to try and help as many people as I can. You know, like, talent is fairly evenly distributed. Opportunity isn't. And so if I can be somebody else's opportunity, I'm just going to do that.
God, that's good.
God, we're in love with you. Okay, you also have 4 children, which we sort of marvel at. And do you, I mean, financial literacy is something that you obviously...
This is one of my favourite subjects, actually.
Tell us.
Well, you know,
look at your beautiful family.
Look at these little darlings, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, here's the thing. I really think that for this generation of kids, they have a hard time because the concept of money and cash itself has almost disappeared. You know, when my kids ask me for something, it isn't like, you know, a toy. It's like this thing on an iPad. Can I have these points? So I think creating those associations to money and to cash, I give them an allowance.
Okay.
I then, if they want something, they want an ice cream after school, or they want one of these things that they're
You're not buying it.
No, they have to give me.
So you're giving them cash.
So I feel like the tangibility of it, if that's even a word, is really, really important. But also making those associations about like what money does. You know, it takes money to keep the lights on. There is an electricity bill. That's why mummy goes to work. And I think the really simple things, my kids are really young, but creating those like tangible associations between what we experience every day and what it takes to get there is really key with little kids.
When should you start
right out the gate?
Kids? Is that what
so
you
have a 2-year-old and you kind of...
2-year-olds.
Oh, you have twins?
I have twin 2-year-olds and a 7 and an 8.
Okay, girl.
Okay, I am a twin, and I just have to tell you, I wish you so much luck.
I can tell you, I feel like I need the
Come back when they're 16.
Already, I'm like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, because they speak their own language,
right? Yeah, they do, and they're like thick as thieves, you know, so they've got their own thing going on.
Okay, you're also breaking boundaries with the Shark Tank.
Yes.
Is that so much fun?
I think it is the most fun you could have while actually helping people, because that show is such a well-oiled machine. And the people that come through, the ideas, like, it's been like a highlight of my career for me, just like sitting in that seat, seeing the incredible entrepreneurs that come through, and then actually working with them. I mean, I have a slate of investments that I've, you know, built over the last 3 years.
We're so into you.
I love them.
Will you move here?
Yeah, anytime. Anytime.
We want to be your friends.
Emma,
you're awesome.
You're
Thank you, Emma.
amazing.
You
Thank
really
you.
are.
It's so nice for you guys to have.
Wow.
Thank you. Come back. Oh, Emma's brilliant. Gosh, do you not love her?
She's got the best advice.
Yes.
You know who else gives great advice?
Who?
Relationship expert Esther Perel. She talks about the 3 tips for rekindling romance after this. Psychotherapist Esther Perel is the go-to expert on all things relationships. She's also a best-selling author and the woman behind the hit podcast, Where Should We Begin?
Talking to her was so enlightening. She shared her personal backstory and gave all tips for kinds of relationship dilemmas, including how to rekindle romance. Take a look.
It's good to see you. Thank you for coming to
here. We're so happy you're here.
I know. When I look at you, I think, how could this have all started? How did someone get this much wisdom? So, were you interested in this topic as far back as you can remember, or when did it hit you?
I understood very early on that I'm terrible at math and good at people.
Okay.
and that I had insight sometimes into relationships. I also saw my parents who were sole refugees of the war from their entire family, and who needed to build a new community and a family of choice. And it really set me on the track of understanding that it's the quality of our relationships that determines the quality of our lives.
Who showed you what love looked like at your earliest moment that you can see, you can remember?
I think both my parents, but also the people around them who took care of each other, who showed you that you really need to trust. You have to be discerning. The trust is essential. That relationships are the bedrock of our lives, and that many things that we sometimes go at alone actually need to be done together with others in community.
It's so true that community and friendships really kind of make us feel whole. But when you described your work, you said that you compared it to reading novels, which I found, as somebody that loves to read, really interesting. How so?
Because I think that relationships are stories. They have chapters, they have protagonists, they have actors, they have a plot, they have resolution, they have conflict, tension, repair. And that is actually the life of relationships. So I grew up reading a lot of novels, and I think they inspired me in understanding the intricacies of relationships.
Therapy used to be something that you heard about every now and then. And now it's, of course, completely mainstream. It's even mainstream among kids, young kids. How early do you think is the right time to start therapy if you think your child needs it?
Well, I don't know if it's an issue of how early. I think it's about, you know, first of all, let's say something else about what you just talked about, the mainstreaming of therapy and of mental health. Because something about the destigmatization and the fact that it kind of has taken the secrecy and the shame out of it is very important. At the same time, there's also an over-focus on the individual. At the expense of what needs to be done communally. Children sometimes may need a room that is behind closed doors where they can talk to one person, but more often they need to be with other children who are sometimes struggling with the same thing. And instead of, you know, sometimes you go to a school and they basically isolate the parent and say your child has a problem, rather than telling you, you know, there are 4 other families that are grappling with some similar things. Why don't you all come together and resource each other?
But you're so right, and we talk about this because we're both raising young children, that there's so much emphasis on the child as an individual and how they're feeling and how to express, which is great, and it doesn't allow them time to really work some things out on their own.
That's right. That's right. Resilience is a matter of practice. It's done with others. It's the learning of the resources that are available around you, and it is often the focus actually ends up making people feel more isolated and more alone.
That's so interesting.
Than not. It's a both end. I just want to say there's a real upside, but there is also something about putting people in boxes, weaponizing and pathologizing stuff too early.
Totally.
Too early. That's really,
very true.
And I think it's interesting what you said. Often, sometimes, there's so much talking about oneself as a grown-up that you become
repeating your story over and over.
Self-focused as opposed to figuring out how I can put myself into society.
What I can bring to society, and also how much others can give me. In, you know, sometimes you need others who believe in you when you don't believe in yourself. It's not just you sit with yourself and you try to pump self-worth inside of you.
That's so interesting and really right on. Okay, so Neil Patrick Harris recently shared some relationship advice that you gave him about how to kind of re-engage in a relationship. Can you share these rules that you live by, some of them?
Yes, and lots of them will actually be part of the tour as well. Because the first thing is the importance of meeting the unexpected, staying open to the unknown, bringing novelty, because novelty breeds testosterone, because it brings energy into your relationship. It's the opposite of routine and familiarity. The second thing is put your phone down and give some single-focused attention on the person that is right here next to you, and don't go, I mean, the phone.
You're right. You're so right.
And then the third thing is really about the surprise. And the surprise it comes in very interesting ways. I listen to you. That's good. Then I come back days later and I say something that you mentioned to me because I really heard you. That makes you feel seen. And that feeling seen actually is one of the most powerful ways we don't feel alone in the world.
Don't go anywhere. We've got more of our convo with Esther Perel. She's answering viewer questions after this. Back now with more of our conversation with Esther Perel, the go-to guru on relationships.
Yeah, 3 of our viewers had some burning questions of her, and Esther's advice was so good. Take a look.
Okay, so first up are Katie and Julian. They've been together for 6 years, married for 3 months. Congratulations, y'all. What's y'all's question?
Katie, what's your question?
So our question is more in regards to our communication style, because my wife can be a lot more outspoken, a lot more vocal with how she feels, but I can tend to be a lot more reserved, and it takes me a little while to process things and situations. So our question is, how would you say we should mesh our communication styles so that we can still, be a strong couple without having to actually change how we are?
Great question. First of all, this setup of one person that's more vocal and one person that's more withdrawn, one person who speaks right away, one person who processes first is extremely common in many, if not all, relationships. But my question to you is this. When you first met her, did you like her outspokenness? Did you think at least she knows how to put things into words? I don't have this capacity, and I really appreciate how she says it as it is, and things like that. And you loved listening to him because he was a good listener, because he didn't interrupt you, because he takes more time to process. Right. So this is the first thing, is remember that this difference once, when you met, was very complementary. You actually appreciated that in each other. It's not just a problem, it's a resource. It's a difference. And that now what you don't want is for this to become polarized. So that means that you don't personalize. When he goes quiet, or when he needs, I need a time out, or when he says not now, that you don't think this is because it's a rejection of you. And that you can say, I need to think first, or I need to process this, or I need to sit with this, and I'll be back. And then you come back so that she doesn't wait forever.
That
By the way,
genius.
that's brilliant.
And by the way, my husband and I are the same way. It's not uncommon.
Jenna's so quiet. I mean, it's really sad. So what do you think?
I really like that advice. that sounds really good. I think we should definitely try that.
I have one more. On your end, when you want to talk, it's often the question is not what about, but how long. So you tell him, I want 10 minutes.
Okay.
Is this a good time? Don't just blurt it out. Wait, because you want him to hear it. So it's worthwhile waiting a few minutes till he says, I'm ready, I can listen, and you get his full attention. And then you stop at the 10 minutes if that's the time you said, so that he doesn't get flooded. And you don't see, because otherwise he gets flooded, you feel abandoned.
Yeah,
right.
That's so good.
Well, and it's so genius just to say really quickly to reiterate that silence isn't personal.
Yes.
I wish I had known that at the beginning of my marriage.
Okay, all right, Emily, you got a question too?
Yes, I do. Hi, I'm Emily. I'm 30, single, and dating in New York City. My question is about something that I'm noticing happening to me as well as some of my other single friends, which is like I've gone out with guys where things seem to be going well, they're progressing, and then around date 4 or 5, seems like guys do a 180 and they either ghost or end things at that time. So I was wondering, why do you think that usually happens around then, and how to get past date 4 with someone?
Okay, so number one, I think it's the most important thing about this question is it's not you, it's the culture. You know, the typical thing is to personalize this, to say what's missing with me, what's wrong, and to make it a matter of your own personal deficiency. It's not. Number two, it's the culture means that we are swiping away and we have 1,000 choices at our fingertips, and we keep thinking that there is better and there is more. So one of the main things you do that I think is really changing a lot of things is what happens is you tell your friends, I'm not going to meet you tonight because I'm going on a date. I'm not going to go do my biking, hiking, movies, music, bands because I'm going on a date. And so you leave your life to go on the date, and then when the date stops, the life has a big hole. Bring the person into your life. If you were planning to go hiking, bring them to hike with you. Bring them to meet people. It's a litmus test, you'll know right away. Join them in your interests, and then you will avoid the checklist.
Okay, I love that.
Oh my gosh.
We have a new guru. We have a new guru.
I mean, can you come and see us again? If you have time in between all of your things.
Happily.
You're so unique.
My sister loves you, and now I explain. So
now you know why.
Now I know why.
The rest of the world.
Thank you so much.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're a genius. You can listen to Esther's podcast, Where Should We Begin, wherever you get your podcasts.
And we'll be back right after this. Coming up tomorrow, hope you're hungry.
Some of our favorite chefs are stopping by, like Benny Blanco.
And we'll take you on a food tour of New Orleans.
Let's eat.
Let's eat.
See y'all tomorrow.